Tonight on RGB, we find out who got in the news. And we talk with the man who would fill up a stadium. The Real Gopoza is back to kick your boredom in the backside with this week's best celebrity gossip and dramas. Igama lam ningu Goliath, and my co-pilot tonight is the only person I know with more dangerous curves than speeding down Chapman's Peak Drive. Missy Naziyolwa, unjani pay?
Hey boo, you are tuned into the home of celebrities, the place where you go to get all you need to know about the people you need to know. As Donovan has pointed out, today marks International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. So, uma wena uneza tendencies zo Arthur no stilo magolide, allegedly, you're part of the problem and not the solution.
It's also the start of 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children. Now, a society is judged by the safety of its most vulnerable, and we as a whole need to do our part to make sure our nation is safe, especially for those who need it most. Now, let's get down to business and give you the stories that had us all shocked and surprised with this week's news headlines. Babes Woduma's parents have come out in strong support of their daughter's racy dance moves, saying that it's already given them a house, a pool, and an old age home. So please take note, for some, Ivosho isn't just fun, it's also an investment.
Now, DJ Cleo is engaged. The Beatmaster revealed the news that he liked it, so he put a ring on it. Wongezangeliti, he keeps his private life private because of the constant trolling on social media. Haters. I'm sure your thoughts on his music keep him up at night. Nope, actually, that's the award Shining that's keeping him up at night. Now, DJ Euphonic got a Twitter lashing this week after tweeting about Black Friday specials on mortgages, loans, if he held a title deed party, would it fill up? Well, obviously no, because you can't have that many people on the title deed. Duh.
Now, former Gang of Instrumentals member Umandla N has said that it's business as usual after his wife Utumi Masemola was slapped with a 2.2 million rand lawsuit for allegedly withdrawing a ton of cash out of their business account. So he's going to focus on TV and she's going to focus on music, and the lawyers will obviously focus on the plea bargain.
No wonder she didn't want to say too much when she was here. Now, Generation 16 member Zikona Sotlaka has said that the fight for what is rightfully theirs is aqhubeleka. The major stumbling block they face is that they're fighting a moral battle and not a legal one. Ibanzima ke le battle ifana nqwa noxelele dictator to leave office and expect him to say, okay.
Okay. Now, Dineo Moketsi has opened up about the bullying she faced as a teenager, saying that her mother's frame led to her insecure classmates bullying her on the daily. Now, I'm guessing some of them are watching right now, so here's a message from us to you. How'd life turn out for you, huh? Nice, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Now, Ambitious Records and 999 have done a swap. As CC left Arthur's stable to join Ambitious, Ufifi Cooper has just joined the King's Court. Now, it's good to see that artists come and go. It's just the names on the contracts letterheads that stay the same.
Kelly Kumalo says that she's finally in a good space. Ifika lento 3 years after the death of her man Senzo Meyiwa. Uti ebomin bakhe akondawo ye negativity. Sisi, I'm going to suggest you get rid of social media, ulahle ne phone, chop chop, let's do it.
Now, Ntando Duma has slammed claims that she ripped off the jumping on the bed idea in a music video. Nope, sorry, wrong answer. For those of you that dabble in research, try remember that it was on Babes Otumo's advice that Ntando created the video. Also, kids actually invented jumping on the bed, so please calm yourself.
Now, Bafana goalkeeper Itumele Nkune recently found out he is allergic to prawns the hard way. Zimjigele says siswini. On the upside, with all that extra face, goalkeeping might be a little bit easier because Ibola as it, but on the downside, he's allergic to prawns, so asinobasayodlala Mozambique team.
And that's all there was to report in the news this week.
The Real Gopoza will be right back.
Coming up, we learn what it takes to fill up a stadium, and we talk lineups and surprises with Cassper Nyovest.
The Continental Gossip Leader is back with more of the stars that make Africa's entertainment world shine. Now, Udwendwe Namhlanje on the seat of superstars is an artist who has become the king of filling up big venues.
Now, whether it's selling out the Dome, back-to-back gold albums, or putting African rap on the global map, Upwood Fill Up has done more than most rappers dream of doing. Now, here to share how he's been pulling off his biggest project to date, Irelko Poza and the rest of South Africa is proud to be joined in studio by the one and only Cassper Nyovest.
They told me to get on with energy.
There he is.
Yeah,
that was
Thank you
energy,
for coming
bro.
through, man.
No, John, speaking of too many things, bro, like you filled up the Dome, you filled up Orlando Stadium.
Yeah.
Now you're about to fill up FNB.
Yeah.
We've always wanted to know, was this always the plan?
No, I decided when we did the Dome that day, because we had already sold out and there was such a demand for the show.
Yeah.
They wanted us to create a second show. So I decided, no, let's rather do a show the next year, not be greedy, you know what I'm saying? So that's how it ended up that we did Orlando. And then once we did Orlando, then we said, let's do the biggest stadium in Africa, you know? Because the whole thing is just to change the mindset of South Africans, to stop thinking that Americans are better than us because they play these big shows. So we decided we're gonna do our own. If you were watching the Fill Up the Dome DVD last week, you know, people were shocked to see such production value. So that's the whole thing, just to change the industry and leave it in a better place.
So, Putwam, it has been said that you've invested a lot of your own money, having to sell off your luxury vehicles in order to make this dream come true.
Yeah, I sold like 3 of my watches. I went all the way broke. I was about to sell my cars before we got sponsors. And I don't care about that stuff because my dream is bigger than, you know, material. Like, I know that my name, when people speak about me 10 years from now, they won't only speak about like the cars I used to drive, but they'll speak about the impact that I had on humanity, the impact that I had on the industry. And that's why I care about, like, I don't mind losing it all, because also I trust in God, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm not scared of risking everything, because I know it'll all come back. I borrowed money from so many people, my friends. The other day, you know, my friend had to pay my gardener. It's crazy, bro. Like, I went all the way broke, and it showed me like how much of a support system I have. You know, I have real friends, you know, around me, and I never saw that story in the papers. Instead, they wrote a lie about me, you know, making someone pregnant and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, there's real stories that you could actually write about. How about like how I'm borrowing money to make this show happen and stuff like that.
How difficult is it, bruh? How difficult? Like, how do you manage to stay sane and smile like that? This is a huge deal.
You know, so I always laugh at myself. I'm like, man, you know, the way I trust God is crazy. It's really, really crazy, because this was the biggest task of my entire career. You know, it took all my money. In fact, I was in debt before the show. You know, people are calling me, the stage is 5.2 million, and these guys are calling me asking for their money.
Just the stage?
Just the stage alone. And I don't know where I'm gonna get their money, but I'm just calm, like, yo, your money's coming. I'm borrowing money from this guy, I'm borrowing money, like and I've never ever lost sleep. Like, every time it's time to sleep, I'm so calm, for real.
I don't believe that, bro.
I'm so calm, and I trust so much in God that I'm so calm. I'm so peaceful. Like, everybody's stressing. The only thing I really, really stress about is the actual show. Like, that's what, you know, gets me worried. I'm in the studio with my band, me, Ali, Pepper, and Shalom. It's an amazing piece that we're creating. Like, people are not ready for that show, trust me. People are really not expecting what they're gonna see. So that's what's been stressing me. But like, putting it together and money, man, I'm always chill. I'm just like, I know that God's got this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always laughing at myself. People will just see me laughing, like, why are you laughing? I'm like, man, I can't believe that I'm really doing this.
So what about the people initially, Clouty, I'm gonna fill up this, I'm gonna fill up that, I'm gonna fill up that. The ones who were hating or were not supporting, have they turned around? Are you not getting those calls like,
I mean, I'm not really getting calls, but everybody's attitude has changed. And for me, that's the victory. If you have compared my DVD, the Dome DVD, to anything you've seen in South Africa that comes from any international, Migos was here, it was horrible. You know, people were out there. I was in the crowd, you know, and people were like, man, we can't believe we paid so much money to come and see these guys and they're walking on stage. And I'm like, then start investing in your own. Because it's not only me who's amazing on stage, it's everybody. Like, there's a lot of South African talent.
Man.
I'm just out there, and the fact that people support me, I appreciate it.
Ifani came out when Tito Mboweni came out and did not like the song.
Yeah.
Then somewhere along the line, he changed his mind.
Yeah.
When was it? A few weeks ago? Maybe a month ago? No, upinde wa Twitter about no, I'm sorry. It's okay. It's a nice song. When Utin, did you forgive him?
Man, I don't.
Quickly.
I don't even pay. Let me tell you something, man. This is the only arrogant thing that I'll ever say. I don't care about people who are not doing well because they're in a very, very dark place and I don't want to inherit that type of energy. So every time someone says something about me, I look at their lives like, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? And if you're not in a good place, I probably shouldn't listen to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. But I take criticism from people who know what they're doing. So if, for example, one of my friends the other day, I did something and he hit me up, say, hey, I didn't like, what you did because of 1, 2, 3, 4. And I looked at it and said, yo, man, this guy is coming from a genuine place and I listen, right? But like, the people like Ifani, I think he needs to really, really figure his life out. I feel sorry, I'm like, man, you got a lot of things to deal with. I'm not even gonna be part of the people who are going to, add on to your problems. So I don't pay it no mind. I got so much love in my life.
But do you accept the apology though?
I don't even care. Like if you're gonna say something about me, if you change your mind, that's really up to you to deal with, because when you say it the first time, I just like kind of brush it off and I move on.
When you are inspired to get your ticket to fill up FNB, nali ithuba lakho because siyabuya thina.
Or you can use the ad break to hit up our hashtag #RealKopoza, and tell us who you're excited to see at the concert. Real Kopoza will be back shortly. After the break, we talk chasing a record with Cassper. Real Kopoza is back with more on the biggest thing to hit FNB since the World Cup.
Sisaqhubeleka again a one-on-one year two with one of the hardest working and hardest spitting MCs to ever come out of Mzansi, Cassper Nyovest. One of your foundation points in the rap game has been your humility.
Yeah.
How do you manage to hang on to that, having worked with big stars such as your Oskidos, your Black Coffees, Double Pearl Tusi are online saying, get the thing,
Black
Ricky
Dog,
Rick,
The Game,
yay.
Talib Kweli. Done so much.
Yay.
Because I'm from the hood, man. And there's just like fundamentals that you learn in the hood. Like I remember when guys used to go to boarding school and come back different. It used to be frowned upon, like this guy's changed. So humility is very, very celebrated in the hood. Like they always say, he's such a down-to-earth guy. This guy is so cool, happy. So I grew up like that. And from my home as well. Like I once said some arrogant stuff in front of my mom as a kid, and she called me, she told me off, and I could understand that and if you look at just the patterns of life, a lot of people who have fallen off, it was because of arrogance, you understand? Even like when you look at, let me not get into that, but like arrogance really doesn't pay off, and it's really, really comfortable to be successful and humble, trust me. Like to be celebrated by people. When you are humble, you allow and you give people a platform to celebrate you. People are very comfortable with celebrating you because they know that you appreciate their love. They know that when they tell you that you're so good at what you do, that it won't blow your head up. They know that you'll always say thank you and you always appreciate it. And that's why I'm so celebrated, because people know that no matter how much they support me and buy my music, I will never ever, spit on that. My best friend's been my best friend for 18 years from the hood. We used to chill and drink cots together. I would advise anybody just to, keep humble.
When you fill up FNB Stadium, where to next?
When?
Are you gonna try and take it?
I have to. Like I feel like a lot of my fans have cried out to move the venue from this province, Gauteng, which is so iconic. we'll probably move to a Durban just to, go and get that vibe out there, do maybe Moses Mabhida, and then maybe do a Nelspruit, stadium. And then after I do a few stadiums in South Africa, we'll definitely do, stadiums in the rest of Africa. Because people don't know how big I am in Africa. Like when I just came back to Malawi, I had 20 bodyguards just moving around. Yeah, it gets stupid. Like when I'm traveling Africa, they see this big superstar. And so I'd love to take these shows out there.
Now, this is Real Kopoza, and we are gonna dig and ask the questions.
Oh.
So AKA said that he would have loved to perform at the stadium. And then you started a very iconic hashtag, which was just buy a ticket, bro.
Yeah.
Which was amazing, right? One, would you ever consider him performing? And number two, what was the meat behind that, just the buy a ticket, bro thing?
Here's my thing, right? Me and AKA have had our fair share of fights. And I took a conscious decision 2 years ago, and then the whole year I've been avoiding that topic or that name. Yeah. I'm sure this is the first time I say it on camera. The whole
first time
year.
I've heard you say it.
Yeah. Because I felt like it's over now. It's boring. You know what I'm saying? Every time I do something, his name has to come up. It's so I was like, no, I'm over that, and I moved on. And then he comes and says, a few days before the show, says whatever he says, and on top of that, he says, I need to give him R1 million to perform in the show. First of all, I never asked you to come and perform in the show, so I don't know why you're giving me a tech rider, right? Secondly, there's so many people who've supported me since the dawn. So many artists who've given their time, their sweat, their blood, their names to make sure that this show becomes a success. The second year at Orlando, even this year, so many artists. And then we overlook them and we speak about the one guy who said it was not possible and mocked me for it. I don't think it's fair, right?
Yeah.
There's so many people who supported me. Why don't we speak about that? But if you're genuine about helping me, like you say you are, then buy a ticket, because that's where we're struggling. We're really struggling to sell tickets. That's the most difficult part of the show. In terms of the show, we've been planning it for months, over a year and some months. Right now, we're going into making the show. There's nothing we can change with that. But one thing that you can really help with is buying tickets. And then the celebrities started buying tickets, saying, oh, okay, is that how we can help? And then we did that. So if we're really going to, in the name of collaborating or helping each other, then, let's buy tickets and do that. That's how I feel.
Nice.
So hypothetically speaking, if he were to buy a ticket, maybe even sponsor a few of his friends, do you ever see the two of you sitting down and doing a track together?
It's not necessary, I think there's a lot of talent, there's a lot of collaborations that can come out that is very genuine, where people, because making music, like I always say, it's like making babies. These are kids that we have to nurture for the rest of our lives. That's a song. Like me and Questa with Ngutu, we were cool before. We were talking about making music for a long time, and the time came and we made a beautiful song together that will live on forever, because me and him, even if we had to fight, because our relationship is so genuine, we'll always come back together and say, bro, let's move on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe in making music for the sake of hype or making money. If me and you are not cool, we could greet each other and move on. It's not necessary, there's different ways of getting along in the industry, and it doesn't always have to be because we fought, let's collaborate, you know what I'm saying? It's over, we kind of have to move on and let it go.
Okay, let's move on to the good stuff. I want to hear about the lineup for Philip FNB, and also how many tickets are still out there available for purchase.
I don't check that. It's the most stressful thing. I wait for news. They'll be like, yo, Golden Circle 80% sold, and I'm like, okay, give me the poster, and then we'll post that. So I never check that, because what happened the first year is we were waiting for these tickets to sell, and then I think 14 days before the show or something like that, and then I checked, and then we had 3,000 tickets sold from 20,000. And then I started stressing. I was like, are we really gonna do this and whatever? And then 7 days before the show, we sold out. which was crazy, right? So then I learned that people take their time to buy tickets. So I never, even the second show, I checked it like a day before, and we were only sitting on like 2 days before we seen, I don't remember, but it wasn't the numbers I was expecting, and it stressed me. So this year, I just managed to consistently, like not check the tickets and just wait for news, you know. But I know that we're definitely going to do well, and I'm praying and hoping for us to hit the target of 75,000.
Lineup,
The lineup.
I'm still waiting for that one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's the obvious Ricky Rick, Major League, Shoma Josie, A-Reese, Babes Odumo, Questa, Mahotela Queens is gonna be joining us this year, and Tepotola. Those are the big names. Yeah, Mahotela Queens and Tepo, and it's an amazing experience. Black Motion, Somizi, Nadia, Tejo, who else? It's gonna be crazy. Tira, Distraction Boys.
Chepmasi.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The whole industry is gonna be there, man. The whole industry is gonna come, and the show is amazing. It's amazing. It's something that people are really not expecting from when you walk into the stadium. When you walk in, your first thing is going to be wow. Just when you walk in, like it doesn't matter what time you walk in, just the stage that we've built, it's a production, world class.
But I think we need to end it at when you walk into the stadium, Uzoti. Wow.
Yeah,
That is all people need to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming through.
Pleasure.
Yes.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
What an honor to have you sitting here and
you.
giving up your time. Thank you so much, bro.
Thank you. Bless.
Really
We have
appreciate
been
it.
revived.
Hey,
Just a
no,
little
man,
bit.
I feel light, man. Yes. Absolutely amazing how much you, Cassper, has put on the line just in order to succeed. And you know what? This is a life lesson. But in order to get what you really want, you have to be willing to give up every single thing that you have. Ask yourself, would you be able to do this?
Ingathi veske wanzima man lo mbuzo. Kodwa ke, if you want to share your answer with us or just tag us in your pictures after you buy your tickets to fill up FNB, then you can do it sikhona ku Facebook, official Rokoboza, or hit us up on our Instagram and Twitter by typing at official RGB.
Or you can let us know personally on our accounts. My handle is @DonovanGoliath, or you can find Usnazo on @SnazoYolwa. And please do not forget the hashtag #RealKoboza. We will see you guys next week, Saturday, at the FNB Stadium. Go and make some coffee. You are in for a ride. Good night.
Young rich nigga, young rich fucking. I made myself a boss, me a sin simmer. Man, you should see my life, figures lit timmers. I used to talk this shit, and now I'm talking 6 figures. Oh boy, I'm G with this. You should probably leave a girl if I'm seen with them. Yeah, definitely, bitch, say something on CD, cause I'm rich. Got a Bentley and a Bentley Major League with the whiz. Woo! Jumpin'. You know you rich when everybody say your cousins. And all your shit wanna hold your hand in public. But that never fly like a DJ Khaled, I'm a problem. No, I'm a big one. Plus them watches got a nigga dancing with the red stuff. I went deep beyond, they left the boy like in my bench. Started at the bottom, now we fit stand on some damn stuff.